Hello, I'm Courtney. What's up? And welcome to Book Talk. Today I'm going to be discussing Sarah J. Maas's latest book, Tower of Dawn, the Cowell Westphal novel. That's what I call it, okay? This is not the Six Throne of Glass book. This is basically Empire Storms told from Cowell Westphal point of view, because if you didn't know, Cowell Westphal was indeed not in Empire Storm, so that is why this is in existence, to catch up with him, see what he's doing. And I finished this last night, and oh my gosh, you guys, this book was so good. And if you didn't know, I was not excited for this book at all because I've hated Cowell for so long, and this book was going to decide my opinion on him, and I was just so nervous. But after finishing it, I can't tell you how satisfied I was with the end and with him. Like, it's so weird for me to say this, but like, I like Cowell Westphal now. What? That happened, and it's all because of this book. This book was so good. And when I finished it, I just couldn't deny the fact anymore that I love this book, and that I honestly think it is Sarah's best book yet, because it was so well done, and I couldn't put it down. I read this book in 3 days. I've never read a Sarah J. Maas book that fast before, but I was so intrigued by the story and wanted to know what was going to happen next, and I couldn't put it down. In her writing style, it was so good, and I just find it so ironic that the book I was least looking forward to is the one I'm giving the most praise for, and I just loved it so very much, and it was so good. I definitely think you gotta read this book. You at least have to give it a shot, because a lot of important stuff does happen, and your opinion will change on Cowell. If you were like me and you hated Cowell and didn't like him and didn't know how to feel, like, this book, it will help you decide your opinion on him, and you're either gonna hate him forever or love him. But honestly, I wouldn't say I love him, but I am definitely more fond of him than I was. So definitely give this book a shot, and if you haven't read it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, I will leave right now because I'm about to go into some spoilers. So bye, not spoiling people! Okay, so Tower of Dawn. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about this book because for the past 24 hours, I've just been exploding with feels because I finished this book at 11:30 last night, and I was just dying because Sarah was about to give me a heart attack because I thought Cowell was gonna die, and I was like, I swear, if I just read 600 pages of just Cowell, you know, trying to heal and everything, and then he's just gonna die, like, nope, I'm gonna burn this book. But he didn't die, thank goodness, and I was happy that he didn't die either. Okay, let's talk about my feelings on Cowell. So if you watched my videos about this book and my theories and my feels, you know that I don't like him, wasn't excited for this book, like I just said before. And in the first, I would say 200 pages, I still felt that way, but it's all thanks to Urena freaking Towers that changed my opinion. Oh my gosh, let me talk about this woman first, because babe, I am so in love with this woman. Like, let's be real here, if Cowell did not exist, then I would want to be with Urena, because Urena is so freaking fantastic. By the way, that's how I say her name. I actually don't know the correct way to pronounce it, but I say Urena, deal with it. But she's the love of my life. She's just so beautiful. Can I put, oh man, it doesn't, wait, I'll put it there. But she's fantastic. I love her, and I love it when, you know, she decides that she's gonna go heal Cowell, and his injury that is like on his spine and his legs, was really thankful for that refresher about what happened to him. I was just like, thank you. But Urena, she's at the Torii, which is where all these healers are in Antica, and her head leader, Hafsa, is like, hey, before you go, let me offer this one thing. You know, this lord from Ardalan just showed up. He has this really bad injury. Will you heal him? And she decides, yeah, she will. And she goes and meets him, and she is just being all sassy, just being like, name, how old are you? Just being all serious, like, she just straightforward asks him, so how's your manhood doing? And I was in class when I read that scene, and I had to try so hard not to just bust out laughing, because that woman literally did that by asking him that. And she was just like, yeah, like, does it work? How is it? I was just like, so funny. Like, this woman is just so iconic. Like, you know, no one's ever really sassy towards Cal, I feel like, but this woman, like, challenged him and gave him all the sass and wasn't afraid to do it. And I was like, yes, where have you been all my life? What I don't understand is how I forgot about her, because Yrene Towers is actually in The Assassin's Blade. She's in the novella The Assassin, the Healer, I think it's called, and she helped Selena out, and Selena helped her by giving her that money and that note that says, what does it say? It's the important part on the note is the world needs more healers. And I kind of forgot about that, but then she talked about it in this, and I was like, oh yeah, you're the girl who works in the bar who wanted to be a healer and blah blah blah, and Selena helped you, like, ring a bell. But now I can't forget this woman because she's so freaking fantastic, and I'm so in love. She's just so wonderful, and I'm so proud of how far she's come. I was just like, yes, girl. Like, at the end when she destroyed the bell demon, I was like, yes, baby, look at you go. But back to Cowl. So, like I was saying, didn't like him for the first 200 pages, so I was like, alright, this ain't working. I don't know how to feel, but I'm gonna keep going because I really didn't want to hate him anymore, because I don't like hating fictional characters. That's why there are so few characters that I actually hate, and when I do, I honestly hate hating them because they don't deserve to be hated, but then they continue to be idiots, so it's like, sorry, but you're doing this to yourself. But because of Yrene, I started to like him more, and I found myself wanting to continue reading this book because I liked it when Cowl and Yrene spent moments together. And that's why I started becoming fond of him, because the more time he spent with her, the more I was like, you know, look at this guy, he's new, he's different, and I liked it. And I was just like, this is good. Cowl, this is good. And I especially really liked him when he finally starts facing the truth, because of this healing process. You also gotta face the emotions too, not just the physical pain, but the emotional pain. And Cowl, for such a long time, did not want to talk about this, and I was like, dude, this is legit the one thing that's going to decide whether or not I like you or not. Because before we go into this book, all I have ever wanted from Cowl Westfall since like 2014 when I read Air of Fire is for him to apologize for what he's done, for him to admit that he has made mistakes and is a failure, and just talk about this. Just like literally admit everything that's happened since Air of Fire, and even Crown Midnight, to yourself. Like, talk about it. I need you to admit everything that's gone on to yourself. Like, don't keep it locked up. Don't tell people. Like, you got to talk about this, okay? And I just really need to hear his side of the story, because I feel like I've always heard Aline's, and whenever she talked about the side of the story, I always believed her because I could care less about what Cowl said. But going into this, I was like, alright, Cowl, it's time. You gotta tell your side. You gotta tell how you feel. You got to open up to me. And he did that because Yrene freaking Towers challenged this boy so hard. So why did I do it? So hard. She challenged him, and it was just so amazing. Because, you know, Cowl Westfall, he's the hand to the King of Dorian. He's strong, he's powerful, he's mighty. He's from Arlen. You don't challenge dudes like this. But Yrene Towers is just like, titles don't matter. And that's why I love her so much, because she's not afraid to take up a challenge. And she really challenged him, to admit these truths through when she would touch his spine and he would see the darkness and he would see these memories, and then the last time she did that, he really faced the truth and you really get to see his opinion, and it was just so interesting. That chapter when he was talking about Aline and Rowan and how she went to his arms and how he just finally admitted that he hated them for doing that they were together, but then he realizes that she changed, and Rowan was never afraid of her and loved her, and she's a different person now, and it's good that they're together. and then he realizes that he's changed, and then it's all because of Yrene, and he's just different, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was just so happy. It was so good. I love Cowell and Yrene so much. They're the cutest, you guys. For so long, I was like, this is alright. And I think I was saying that because I was still holding on to Cowell and Nesrin, which I haven't even brought this up. I love seeing Nesrin again because she's my baby. She's great. I love her. She's fantastic as well. But it was so weird in the beginning to read from them, though, because it felt so awkward. And I was like, hold up. At the end of Queen of Shouts, I'm pretty sure you two were like on the start to, heading towards relationship lane. But now you get to this, and it's like, it's kind of like they're at square one, and I'm like, what happened? And it was just, all their moments were so just awkward, and I felt uncomfortable in that one scene where Cowell just like randomly kissed her. I was like, whoa. And how later on he was like, yeah, there was no like spark or no romantic tension in that kiss. It was just a kiss. And I was like, what does this mean? And I definitely realized before Nesrin left that, like, the Cowell and Nesrin ship died. Not because of Yrene and Startik. I still don't know how to say his name either, but I love him as well. But because now being Antika, they both want different things. Like, Cowell is more worried about getting healed, I guess. Like, yeah, he's worried about the war too, but, like, let's be real here. He wants to get healed. And then Nesrin wants to make a difference and get these people to support them and join them in the war, and she was just having to sit around in the castle and just do little things for Cowell when she's the captain of the freaking guard, for crying out loud. She doesn't want to do that. So when Nesrin was hanging out with Startik and he was like, hey, I'm about to go to this like mountain place and hang out with my peeps, you want to join me? And she said yes. I was fine. I was actually happy because I was like, you go, Nesrin, you go make a difference, because I didn't want her to stay because she felt bad. I didn't like her being there. I was like, no, you don't need to be here, and you need to go. You need to go with Startik because you're gonna make a difference with him. And she did, and I was really happy. I did feel bad for Cowell when he found out that she did leave, but I was like, it's gonna be fine, cause like Yrene is here. And it was just, it's still kind of weird to think though that like nothing happened, because while reading Queen of Shadows, what made me like Cowell, I guess, was that Nesrin was always with him, and then in this it's like Cowell and Nesrin that just fell. It's dead, and it's weird, but I'm so happy that by the end when they're reunited again, they see each other and they silently, look at each other, and Cowell's with Yrene, Nesrin's staying with Startik, and they just both know that like they're with different people now. Like whatever was gonna happen between them is dead. Like, because Cowell said he broke all his promise to her, which like so true. I was like, when he said that, I was like, he's admitting all this stuff. But I'm really glad that they accepted it and like hugged it out. I was like, really good. But Cowell admitting all that stuff though in that one chapter, like with the Aline situation, and how when he finally realized that he had dragged Nesrin here and broke his promise to her about having an adventure, I was just like, he's admitting stuff. Thank goodness. That was just really good. Everything he admitted to himself, I was just like, oh, this is so good. It was just such a relief to read all that and to see his side, and I just felt so bad and I wanted to cry, but I was so happy that he was finally saying all this stuff that I've wanted to hear for a long time out loud. I was just like, thank you, Jesus. I'm so beyond thankful that Cowell finally faced the darkness inside him. Not just even the Valak presence, but just like this pain he's had long before this injury. And it was just so good. I wanted to cry. I was like, this is all beautiful, and how he just admitted everything. But you know, there was one bad thing though. There was one point in this book where I was very close to hating him again because of truths that he was admitting when he and Urine were fighting, and I knew a fight was going to happen between these two at one point, because I feel like anger had been building up inside them, and then they kind of just broke, and so when they started yelling at each other, I was like, this was going to happen at one point. And I thought it was good because, you know, they were communicating and talking about their problems and their feelings. I was like, I hate that you're fighting, but like, communication, you got that going for yourself. But they're yelling, and Urine's just all like, yeah, you dragged Nestor in here, and blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what she said, but what Urine said about Nestor, oh, she said that Cowell was relieved that Nestor left, and I was just like, look at her go. I was just like, yes, yes, because that's how I felt, because I knew deep down that Cowell was, like, secretly satisfied that Nestor wasn't there, because at that point, he was, like, all eyes on Urine, and they kept fighting. They fought about that. But then, what made me want to hate him again, because he said that, you know, it was like, he told Urine that he's done all this stuff in the past 2 years, what have you done? And I was just like, boy, heck no. No, you've come so far, you've already admitted so much to yourself, you've grown close to Urine, and then you're going to freaking accuse her of not doing any shiz in the past 2 years? Like, what the heck? And I was so mad. I was like, I was this close to hating him again, because that was just wrong. Like, yeah, they were fighting and everything, and it was bad, but like, that drew the freaking line. And I was so scared that that Urine was gonna leave, and I was just like, no, come back. Like, I was just really hoping that he didn't mean it. And then he started apologizing and being like, please come back, and I was like, whoa. It was so weird then to see him so raw and begging someone for forgiveness, because I have never seen Cowell act like this before. There were so many moments in this book where Cowell acted so raw and just broke and cried, and I was like, who is this guy though? Like, Cowell Westfall crying, that's a little weird. But then it was just, it somehow became funny, because during this whole entire time, he's standing up, and then Urine is walking back, and then he's taking a step forward, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Cowell is walking during a fight, and Urine's about to leave, oh my gosh. And then he realized that Urine was doing this on purpose just to get him to walk, and I was like, I'm so proud of Cowell, but I might hate him, and I don't know how to feel. And then he kissed her, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. Oh, it was just, it was so good out. And how Urine was like, oh yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, she was just getting all angry. Oh no, she said that he was just like doing this anger to himself, blah blah, something like that. And then they were kissing, and it was just the cutest thing in the world, you guys. I was like, oh my gosh. And then when they had sex in the desert, my heart was so happy right then, I'm gonna be honest, because, you know, if you know me, I wasn't a fan of the sex scenes in Aqua, but these were the complete opposite. The sex scenes in this book were just full of fluff, and they were so romantic and so precious, and I was like, why couldn't they have been like this in Aqua though? It was so cute, and it was so romantic. I just loved it. They're so cute together, and I'm so happy Cowell is alive, because I really thought he was gonna die at the end, and I was like, Sarah, if you kill this dude off, I'm gonna burn this book and regret reading this for the rest of my life. But thank God he didn't, because Urine put her hand on him, and then Hafsa and Areta came, and then before you knew it, all the healers were touching each other, and I was just like, I wanted to cry. I was just like, oh my gosh, it was so beautiful just to imagine all these healers coming together to heal this one man. But I still can't believe that even after all those healers showing up and helping him, it still wasn't enough to heal some of his spine, which is fine, because Cowell accepted that. Like, he was all like, this isn't a burden. I don't care if I have to use the chair or a cane for the rest of my life. This is fine because I'm alive and I'm with you, Yrene. And I was like, that just showed redemption and how far he's come. And I was just like, yes. And what makes this so much more interesting is that they have a life bond? What? It's like the human-made bond. And this is something I've always wondered about because, you know, humans exist in Throne of Glass, and I've always been like, you know, is there like a mating bond for humans? And now there's a life bond, and I feel like Cal and Yrene will be the only couple to ever have something like this, but like, it exists, and I find it to be really cool, and how when Yrene's at her strongest, Cal will be at his strongest too, but when she's drained, he'll be drained, and then when it's time for when someone dies, the other one will die too, and how they like took their hands together, were like together. I was like, oh my god, it was just so cute. And then at the end, oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about Princess Duva. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe the Valg was in her. Let me just say that. I kept thinking it was Asher, don't know how to say the other princess's name. But Duva, I was like, no, she's so innocent. She has a baby. And I was like, oh no, but all is good. Because Yrene got that demon out of her and Duva is alright and the baby's okay. And I was like, thank you. But back to Cal and Yrene. Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many times I have read chapter 68 now. I can't even count it on my fingers anymore because chapter 68 killed me when I read it last night. When Cal puts his arms around Yrene and they're on the ship going back to Ardalan, and then he talks about the ring fingers. It legit, Yrene says, neither will teasing your wife about it. And I was just like, did she just say wife? And then they talk about how he proposed to her and they got married, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe Sarah pulled another secret marriage. Oh my gosh, but I'm so happy about this one. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm so happy. And this book ended on such a good note. Yeah, this book ended at chapter 68, not Fireheart. Yeah, I read Fireheart, but honestly, I regret reading it because it was just so terrible. And it brought down my happiness so low because Helena was in the iron box, and then it was opened and Maeve, Queen of the Valg, that was a shocker, but Maeve was there and I was like, no, that Fireheart section shouldn't have been included. That was bull. I was like, nope. It ended with Cowell putting his arm around Yrene's waist and going to tell her the story of how he knows Selene Sardossian, the one who wrote that note to Yrene and brought Cowell and Yrene together. So yeah, that's where the book ended. I don't accept Fireheart. Nope, don't accept it. But I think that's all I have to say overall. Yeah, this book was just fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm just like, I'm just so happy, and it's just so weird to be giving so much praise to this book and being like, oh yeah, I like Cowell Westfall. It's so strange, but I'm really glad that I don't hate him and that he's with Yrene. He's so happy. They look so, they are so happy, and it's just so wonderful, and I love that they are, and it's just so great, and Sarah really did that. Bravo, Sarah. I'm so impressed, especially with this. Like, she really did a good job with this book, and I'm so excited for the final one. We have to wait another year, but like, whatever. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. So, thank you all so much for watching this super duper long book talk. I'm Courtney. I'll see you all next time with a new video up soon, so I will see you then. So, bye! Yo!